pressure. That is the word that comes to mind when I'm sitting on a stage and a spotlight is on. The first time, though, I was actually on a stage, it wasn't like that. I was 5 years old, and weeks earlier, I came home and I told my mom I wanted to sing a solo in the elementary talent show at Indian Hills. There was a time in my life when I was shy and quiet, and I know that's hard to believe, but there was that time, and so my parents were completely shocked, and I told them what I wanted to sing was "The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow" from Annie. That was our first VHS film when we got a VCR in the 80s. Before the show, I remember sitting on my mom's sink as she brushed my hair, and I actually remember feeling her nerves. I remember her giving me a pep talk, and I remember feeling confused by it. Because strangely, I wasn't nervous. I was excited. I don't remember thinking, I can't sing, even though I can't sing. I don't remember worrying about measuring up or making mistakes. I don't remember any of that. I remember how excited I was to sing the song that I had sung a billion times by myself. So hours later, I'm on that stage, and I sang that song in front of hundreds of children and parents. I can still remember looking out. I sat on this little stool, and I remember looking out, and I saw white painted cinder block walls and folding chairs and kids shifting and parents that were smiling. And my voice didn't crack. In fact, I sang my heart out, and I walked off that stage peaceful and sure that I had done what was in my soul to do. Honestly, I wasn't performing. I was 5. I was just doing something that brought me joy, and life was simple. I was loved and I was accepted, and that was all most 5-year-olds need. We are loved. We are accepted. And out of that, we can do anything God puts in our hearts to do. Rather than doing things for God, I've learned He actually wants to do this life with me. When we have this childlike faith and we start to live in these unforced rhythms of grace, everything shifts. But it's possible that you're still thinking to yourself, I still don't know what those rhythms are. Tell me what the rhythms are. John ends his incredible retelling of the life of Jesus here in John 21. Jesus has died and he's been raised from the dead, and he's standing on the shore while his guys are out at sea and they've been fishing all night and they caught nothing. And Jesus shows up and he says, throw your net out on the other side of the boat. And it's amazing because it's completely full to the point of overflowing. See, the rhythm of the world is hustle. But the rhythm, the unforced rhythm of grace is trust. We have enough because Jesus has storehouses of everything that we need, and he actually, as we've seen again and again, overdoes it. A spring of water, not only quenching thirst, but welling up in us so we don't ever have to thirst again. Leftovers overflowing in 12 baskets simply to remind his 12 men and all of us that he has more than enough. Healing for us, even though it cost him his life. Light and hope over our darkest fears because he has conquered our darkest fears. And enough grace for us to keep coming back and coming back and coming back and coming back to him. See, he has all we need. He has more than we could ever need. So we don't have to hustle. We don't have to strive. instead of achieving something, we get to start receiving all that God has for us. So when all of his men got to shore, verse 9 tells us this. They saw a charcoal fire in place with fish laid out and bread. And Jesus says to them, "Come and have breakfast." Do you want to stay so near to Jesus, enjoying the way he works, enjoying the rhythms of grace? Do you want to get out of this endless striving and performing and insecurity and fear? And are you worried that tomorrow you're just gonna go back to the broken cisterns and back to your sin and back to your doubt and back to your cheap wine, your Netflix? Guess what? You will. You absolutely will visit an empty cistern, possibly and likely later today. But grace says, come back to me. Come and have breakfast. See, the rhythm of the world is fear, and the rhythm of grace is breakfast. Jesus says, you don't have to be perfect. I've been perfect for you. He's not off stage somewhere waiting for us to mess up. He isn't judging our performances. You have been drenched in the righteousness of Christ. As much as I wish that this could end with Jesus and breakfast and grace and peace and joy, that is not where the passage ends. In fact, after Peter and Jesus have been restored, Jesus calls him to go feed his sheep and calls him into ministry. And then at that point, he actually tells Peter how he's going to die, how Peter will die. And it is difficult for Peter to hear. But I believe in Peter understanding that he would lose his life. He was going to live a completely different life here. See, the rhythm of the world will tell you to protect your life, but the rhythm of grace is to lose our lives. I know this is a huge, costly calling. He doesn't want just a little bit of us. He wants all of us. His hopes for us are to set us free. And the backwards way he does that is as we lose our lives, we find our lives. I think so much of our striving and our drama and our fatigue is actually found in this rhythm of the world. I get nervous almost every time my 16-year-old walks out of the door with car keys. I get nervous when I'm exposed in front of people and I don't know what they think about me. I get nervous when I feel like I can't control this life. And we spend so much energy protecting our lives and ourselves and our futures and our people and our stuff that we're absolutely exhausted. It's so ironic because Jesus says, whoever loses his life finds his life. I actually think that this rhythm, that this truth is the key to all of the other ones. When we let go of this life, when it's over for us, when we say, done, I'm in, whatever you want, God, when we surrender, all of God's Spirit takes over, and now we get to enjoy God. We get to enjoy our life. We get to enjoy our people. This isn't some performance. This is the story of God playing out through his people, filled with his Spirit, equipped for every good work that he prepared in advance for us to do. We let go of our lives and we get to start enjoying them. We began this journey with a story about my Kate. She's 14, and she's ambitious, and she's already worked out most of her life. And I find myself wanting to say to her, you don't have to save the world. Rest, have fun, be 14, enjoy your people, enjoy God. But then I have to look at who told her she could change the world. And who am I to stop her? And no doubt, God built those fires in us. But I pray she learns God also built fires for his friends, cooked him breakfast. In fact, maybe changing the world starts at breakfast, around a fire, enjoying Jesus and our people, and letting that be the thing that is contagious.